It's a wonderful car show. We're out here by the ocean, lots of people, great weather, can't beat it.
Sure.
San Clemente's really supporting the car show, and the merchants are really nice, letting us hang out, and it's a lot of fun.
When I was 15 years old, I bought my first car, a 36 Ford three-window coupe, and I've been building cars ever since as a hobby. The factory was Roots Incorporated over in England, and they got with Carroll Shelby, put a deal together with Ford to put Ford engines in the Sunbeam and called it a Tiger. And he did the prototype car, and they came out in late 64, called them a 65, and they built them for 3 years, 65, 6, and 7. It's a lot of fun. It's a blast. It's short wheelbase, a lot of power. It's a light car, weighs about 2,500 pounds, and puts out around 240 horse to the rear wheels, and so it's a pretty good ride. Spent 8 years doing it, and as a hobby, more or less, after I retired.
Basically, I'm joining into the car show game with my 1965 Austin Healey MK3000, and it's a lot of fun working on cars together and showing up at car shows, doing the father-son thing. It's purpose-built to drive around, maybe you can go a little bit on the racetrack. It's got coilover suspension, 350 Chevy motor in it, and it's a lot of fun. It's 2,500 pounds, handles quite well, and we both have a good time going up to the stoplights, going home from the car shows. And that goes for both of us, I guess.
Everybody else thinks it's all right, but you know how wives are. They think you spend too much time in the garage.
If it were up to us, we'd be spending all the money on the cars.
Yeah.
Well, my dad actually first got me interested in cars, and we used to buy old Corvettes in the late 60s and early 70s, and we would restore them and sell them. So I think over the years we had about 12 Corvettes. This is a 1955 Corvette. I've had it about 10 years, and it's been in the family since 1971. My dad purchased the car, and my brother had it before I bought it about 10 years ago. This is a 283 Corvette engine with a 1957 fuel injection and a 4-speed. The 55 was the first year that they put a V8 in the Corvette. It was a 265. This car was modified for racing in the early 60s. So it has 283 cubic inches and about 315 horsepower. This is actually the third year that I've entered my car. And it's just a fun show. Enjoy being here. A lot of people. It's a good turnout today. It's a diversion for me. I like to do most of the work myself. I did the interior about 2 years ago, just finished that. And I've taken a pause. I'm going to probably do the engine compartment next and then finally paint it. It's just fun. I just enjoy it. You know, I like the people. I like the learning about the cars. Particularly with this car, the parts are not easy to find, and it's just part of the enjoyment that I find is getting on the internet and talking to car enthusiasts and just learning about it every chance I get. Today with the internet and a lot of the remanufactured parts, restoring these is not as hard as it once was. Just enjoyed the Corvette model.
Well, my favorite thing of the car hobby is all the people involved with it. I mean, the cars are the stars, but there's people behind all the cars, and that's where it's really interesting. You can only know so much about a car, but with people you're always learning. So I just like the club atmosphere. We're all friends here, no matter what you drive. It's just a good thing. Wholesome entertainment. Today's show is the 10th annual San Clemente Classic. It's one of the better events in this area. You can't beat the setting next to the ocean here. It's nothing but fun. The car in question here is a 66 Shelby GT350 clone. There's more clones than real ones. So. I've been in the car hobby pretty much all my life. This is the 7th Mustang that I've owned. I like all the Mustangs, especially the high-performance ones. You can never have enough horsepower. The engine is a 351 Windsor from '69. It was put into the car about 2 years ago. The engine's been built. It has approximately 400 horsepower and a 411 posi rear. Well, this particular car was built with a mix of both new and vintage Shelby parts. Some of the parts are new, but a lot of the parts are vintage, such as the original torque thrust wheels. These are vintage 14-inch American Racing torque thrusts. They were original equipment on Shelbys. But out of the original Shelbys, there was about 2,200 and change made, I believe. They were built for racing, basically, for the old Trans Am series back in the 60s. And Shelby was contracted to build a couple thousand cars for Ford Motor Company. And so they came up with the GT350 as a high-performance alternative to the factory Mustang. And they were used extensively in racing. This is one of the original style Shelbys. They were all small blocks. It's just a lot of fun. This car really goes well on the street with the 411 rear. It's very fast. It has about 100 horsepower more than the original car.